Hey everyone, this is Julie. Welcome back to Fearless Funnels, a decision support podcast for people evaluating if FG Funnels is right for them. Today, I'm tackling the question, can FG Funnels replace, and then answer the sentence. Can it replace Dubsado? Can it replace ClickFunnels? Can it replace Teachable, Schools, Circle, ThriveCart, Samcart, ActiveCampaign, right? We get this question probably more than any other question. And I was thinking about how to answer this today, and I think it's much easier to answer what it doesn't replace. If I sit here and I tell you what it does replace, we're going to be here all day. And categorically, it replaces almost all CRMs. It replaces all calendar software. It replaces all website software, funnel software, blog software, order form software, invoicing software, contracting software, communities, client portals, courses, memberships, texting, phone, email. I mean, yeah, a lot, okay? That's the big overview, but let's go into what it does not replace, the things that you're going to need to keep on your online software bill. Number one, it does not replace Google Workspace. And this is really confusing for folks who are new to the business world. So I'm going to try to untangle this. When you are just a regular human walking on the street, you probably have a Gmail address, right? Maybe it's like, hotkitty346@gmail.com or whatever. And you have Google Drive and Calendar and stuff. Well, once you become an official business, the very first thing that you should do is buy a Google Workspace account. It's basically business Google instead of personal Google. You will get a business email address, you'll get a business drive, and you just get a bunch of other features. This is absolutely imperative for all businesses, and I recommend that everyone have a Google Workspace account. This is going to give you a business email address. And the reason why this is so important is that there's a lot of laws in the United States that they don't allow you to send emails using a personal email address. You have to use a business email address. And the very easiest way to figure out if you have a personal or a business is this. If it's at gmail.com, it's personal. If it's at and then a specific domain that you got to pick, it's business. You need a Google Workspace account. That is going to be where your Drive, your email, your docs, your spreadsheets, and your calendars, okay? FG Funnels does not replace this. The second tool it does not replace is Zoom. Now, there is a feature in FG Funnels where if you have a community and you are hosting live calls, you can actually go live right in the community. And so that does technically sorta replace Zoom in that capacity. But if you're using Zoom for people who are not yet customers, right? You're using Zoom for sales calls, you're using Zoom for webinars, it's not going to fully replace Zoom. You will need a Zoom account. Now, if you don't want to pay for a Zoom account, you can use Google Meet. And if you have a Google Workspace account, which we just talked about, Google Meet comes with it, right? So that's amazing, right? So one Google Workspace account is going to come with Gemini, which is an amazing AI. It's going to come with Google Meet. It's going to come with all kinds of stuff. So you can actually get rid of Zoom if you don't want to have, it paid for, and then you can use the live feature inside the community portal. Okay, so FG Funnels doesn't replace Google Workspace. It doesn't replace Zoom. The third thing it doesn't replace is bookkeeping or accounting software. You need proper financial systems. In the freelancing world, there are some tools, and I may not get this right because I haven't been in every tool, but I think Honeybook, maybe 17 Hats, some of these tools, which are designed as sort of an all-in-one tool for a freelancer, offers a bookkeeping functionality. FG Funnels doesn't have bookkeeping. My recommendation is that you get QuickBooks Online or Xero, one of those. Those are the official ones. If you are very, very new, you can get away with spreadsheets for a little while, but just for a very, very short while. Just a little side note, if you have not read my book, $1 Million Grit, which is free, by the way, I have a whole chapter on having a sort of come to Jesus moment about my financial systems. Really important, okay? So it does not replace bookkeeping or accounting software. FG Funnels does have invoices, contracts, proposals, all of that stuff. So, if you think about a 17 Hats, for example, is combining contracts and proposals and invoicing and bookkeeping, right? But I think bookkeeping is something that you should have in a tool like QuickBooks. Okay. Number 4, FG Funnels does not replace photographer galleries. And we have a lot of people who are photographers who come to our class. And if you have those galleries where, people have to choose what pictures they want, we do not do that. Similarly, and kind of adjacent, there are tools that keep track of like how many client sessions you've had and all of that. Now, FG Funnels does have a client portal, so they can go in, they can see their invoices and things like that. And I am sure, because of how powerful FG Funnels is, that there is a way to sort of track your sessions. You could probably actually do it with like the calendar feature. But for coaching tools that have, I can't remember what it was called. It was like some coaching program. If you need client proofing type stuff like photographer galleries or in some cases coaching, it's not going to replace that. The next thing it doesn't replace is highly customized project management tools. People ask all the time, does this replace Trello or ClickUp or Notion and things like that? We do have a project management feature inside of FG Funnels. There are tasks, there are reminders. It's not that you can't do those things. There are notes, all of that stuff. But if you are used to ClickUp or Monday or something like that, FG Funnels is not going to replace that. So you're going to need to keep that tool. Lastly, if you have a highly specialized industry-specific tool, and I'm thinking about someone who works with like handyman and it was like a field map kind of tool, it doesn't replace that. So if you have highly specialized industry-specific tools that do one narrow job extremely well, FG Funnels is not going to replace that. The good news is that FG Funnels does have an open API, so it's very easy to integrate with any tool that you need. And, the truth of the matter is, as you're building out a business and you're hoping that it's 6 figures or 7 figures, you are going to need multiple tools. I mean, it just is what it is. But if you have one core tool that runs the bulk of your system, that keeps all of the most important stuff, and then you have a few other adjacent tools that support it, that is way better than 25 tools that are all duct taped together, or buying some of those like beginner-friendly tools like a 17 Hats that really are terrible when it comes to playing nice with other tools. They're just like sort of oversimplified, like little tools that you can like play around with, and they're dummy proof. But the problem is they're dummy proof. So you can't actually like do a little bit more advanced, complex stuff. If I did not mention certain tools in this episode, that means FG Funnels replaces it outright. Okay. And if you have any tool that helps you attract leads, convert them, take payment, deliver content, talk about follow-up, sales pipelines, manage client communities, memberships, anything, phone, email, text, AI, it replaces it. And hopefully that answers that question. Okay, see you in the next episode.